pretty much on the money, don't you think? Dub Station Zero, welcome to the stream. Poly Aftertouch, SQ80 as a controller. So, I've never tried to use Omnisphere in MPE mode, but you can. And the reason I haven't is because although the SQ80 has polyphonic aftertouch, I don't know if the way it sends MIDI, if it sends MIDI with polyphonic aftertouch. That would be quite crazy, that head of the curve. They're working on that now. For those of you guys who don't know, MIDI came out, I think, around 1983, and it's still in 1.0, and we're working on 2.0. So the Yamaha CS-80 was famous for having polyphonic aftertouch. So what that means is, right now, if I do aftertouch on any note, it'll affect every other note that I'm playing. So as I push down on the highest note, it's affecting the lowest notes too. Well, the CS-80 and the SQ80 that we did last time on stream on SCUM Night both have polyphonic aftertouch. So that means you can pick a certain note out of an arpeggio and actually have it have a different amount of pressure, and that can affect things like the filter, LFO rates, or anything like that. So it's really cool. So yeah, thank you very much, George. Welcome to the stream. It is great to hear that sound for sure. It is beautiful. Pretty much on the money. So we can actually go into Omnisphere real quick and see that we're using a CS-80 saw, which is interesting because I think this is from like the Yamaha CS digital synth. I'm not sure if that's a sample of the original CS-80, actually. We could probably see if we go into classic waveform sawtooth. It says CS saw. Yeah, I don't know. You would think it would say CS-80 if it was from the 80 itself. By the way, the CS-80 nowadays goes for, somewhere around $100,000. It's a crazy expensive synthesizer. I believe the most expensive probably out there. And we can see that there's a little bit of wave shaping, very little. So if I turn that off, you can hear that it's doing almost nothing probably. Little bit of tone and just a little bit of unison. Lots of analog here. Giving it a little bit of stereo spread. We've got some chorus echo and then some reverb on it. Actually very simple. This pack comes with effects racks that you can use in your sounds. So that's pretty cool too, because you could do your own sound design with it as well. Yeah, so really, really neat. So anyways, I'm going to actually hit the randomize button in Omnisphere just off screen and go through some of these sounds now. And they're from all over the place, and there's a little bit of info on each one of them. Chakra sacral. Very soothing. I agree, Autumn. It is quite an incredible sound set. So we're moving on to Forever Peace. There are a lot of patches, so I'm going to try to get through them a little quicker than I normally do. Really like there's a little bit of an attack to it. So we've got a wavetable and the PWN from the Korg Prologue, which used to be sitting right here on the stand. So interesting. Wonder why they picked that one in particular. Really cool little sound, though. I wonder what's going on to give it that. Let's see if we can... I don't know. Doesn't appear to be any... I wonder what's giving it that interesting little sound. Little hard sync? I don't know. Cool. Anyways, let's continue on. Really cool. So, hymn strings. Let's see. Use mod wheel to adjust the filter and aftertouch for vibrato. You can see that it's using actual samples of the CS-80 that were from Eric Persing's CS-80. He actually has one, which is crazy. Yo. Purr, little kitty purr. Really incredible. Once again, looks like we've just got some reverb directly on layer A. And we can see the strings here. So I'm going to turn, little tip for Omnisphere, you can actually hit this blue button and that will bypass all of your effects. It's a quick way to get stuff done. We'll turn the filter off real quick too. So this should be more or less just the sample of the CS-80. So when you hear how it sounds. Little PWM action. Sounds really good. And that's a good reason to get Omnisphere, by the way, is that it really does have an incredible library of samples from vintage synthesizers. It's very not talked about all that often with Omnisphere because the focus has been, since Omnisphere 2, on all of the cool synthesis. But it really is just a great sample library of vintage analog synths, too, if that's your type of thing. Hey, Synthpunk, how's it going, my friend? How have you been? Good to see you. All right, moving right along, we've got Lagoon's Key. We've got a D50 Bell. Got the D50 right back there. It's that synth. So we can see what's going on. Oh, there's that famous sound. What's up? Hey, how's it going, Jackie? We are checking out the Vangelis sound set. Really exciting. The Nord Lead A1 on Omnisphere is awesome. So we could just look that up real quick. If I went to Nord Lead in all Omnisphere, let's see. Nord Lead A1. Let's try that. Nope. All right. I can't seem to locate it, my friend. Oh, well. There's a lot of stuff created over there. So anyways, let's go back to Vangelis for Omnisphere. And we can keep going here. Oh, how's it going, everybody? Hey, what's up, PC? We've got pure strings. Strings recorded in Cathedral in a mix with a sublayer of an Elka. I didn't know there was an Elka in this. It's pretty crazy. Wow. So let's check this out real quick. Yes, I don't know that I've actually done the update. It's in the hardware section. So I was looking, I didn't find it quickly, but what would you use this on? Well, something like this is very useful for all sorts of cinematic scoring, right? Really cool. I want to see what's going on here. So we've got the, I didn't know we had an Elka cellos. Wow. Wow. Really cool. I had no idea that was in there. Learn something new every day, I suppose. Really, really neat. 1492 tracks. The K3 is where it's at. Huge fan of the K3. That was one of my favorite surprising synths I've ever messed around with. I should have the update. I'm not sure. Yes. I would say drop the DAWs, just stay with the hardware synths. I like both. I'm a fan of both sides of the, you know, I obviously have a thing for hardware synths, but I also think that the software can sound really good. Sometimes it doesn't. This Friday, I've got a comparison of my SQ80 from Insonic from 1987 versus the new software from Arturia, the SQ80V, which is claimed to be a perfect representation, emulation of that. And I did a shootout with the help of my friend Grow. Definitely check that out on Friday. It's coming out. Barney's, yes, it would be good for layering. Yeah, they do make you want to cry. They all have that wonderful, I mean, just Vangelis. I mean, I don't know if it's for me, if it's just me, but for me, these sounds have that nostalgia. But I think he was just so beautiful anyways, like his capacity to play. Creative note choice there. Grow helped me do the next video. He's not in it, but it's his software that we use to make it possible, which I appreciate. Yes, so I have had Omnisphere for a long time. Synth, I think I got it the day that Omnisphere 2 came out. But this pack from Luftrum, just got it right now. Night Earth. Yes, yes, yes. Giving me the slow blinks. Love a good slow blink. All right, Zen Festive. Let's see what we have here. Yes, the reactive lighting is cool. So what's neat about this is, let's see if I can find a good example of it. Metallic rain key. This is using a CS-80 saw. And we can adjust the filter with Aftertouch. Oh, cool. Really cool. Not good for what I wanted to talk about, though. Him. Whoa. Oh, yeah, this famous sound. Opera Sauvage. All right, so as I go, if I play this low note, you'll see that the red channel of the lights will come up with a little bit of green, giving it this nice orange color, and fading into that. As I hit a more middle note, we get green, more green, and then as we go up higher, we start getting blue. Really cool. using DMX is neat. Low City Rumble. Neat. This is kind of the drone from Blade Runner. Let's see what's going on. Just D, some noise. The fact that noise is on D indicates to me that Luftrum's probably using a hardware controller because the D channel's often reserved for noise. Interestingly. Maybe, maybe not. Hard to know. Sleeping Stars. You can hear a little bit of aftertouch there. Very reactive to velocity. Yes, I intend to do some more stuff with doing live music. Still working on how exactly to do that in the best way that's actually entertaining. So, working on that, aquatic, but yeah, really cool. Let's see here. Emerge 2, Dreamlike and Lush dual layered synth keys. Let's see. Interesting. Juan, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, my friend. So let's see. Freely inspired by the 5-circle synth brass. The Twilight Harp. Let's see. From the album The City. Interesting. Very cool. Everything in this pack. $39 is great. You know, there's a lot of discussion on my Sonic Extension videos whether or not those were too expensive. They're about $100 by the time you get the discount or whatever. $150 if you only buy one pack. $39 for all of this is incredible. I mean, for me personally, Omnisphere plus maybe Undercurrent and then this would be pretty much my like go-to stuff. If I had to say, if I was trying to save a little money on it, I wouldn't have bought the other packs. I would have stuck with this and Undercurrent because Undercurrent's incredible. And this is really great too. I don't know if I could ever be a new Vangelis, but that's quite a nice thing to say, George. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Late 70s to early mid 80s in the way that their sound designed. Yeah, absolutely, Gato. They are they have that sound. The CS-80, although most famously used in Blade Runner and Africa by Toto and a million other songs, the Doctor Who theme really was a 70s synth. It was made back in that time, and even the way it's laid out, if you look at a picture of it, you can see that it's kind of still an organ in a weird way. Some of the sliders the value gets higher as you pull them towards you, which would be how it is on an organ, right? Like a drawbar. Hey, Anna, how's it going? You had a CS-80, Gato? You are kidding me. Let's check out Star Chimes. Bright sprinkling chimes. Definitely get like a little Blade Runner-y sort of like. Really cool. I don't know if they ever have a sale. Spectrasonics famously doesn't. They never have sales. And I kind of appreciate that about them because although they're expensive, they're not that expensive. And the fact that you never buy it and then like later on be like, I just missed the sale, you know. You just know that when you buy it, it's going to be that price forever. Ooh, this one's really cool. Wow. Really, really cool. All right, so vintage tape electronic piano, a combination of Tears and Raids and Rhodes Voices patches treated through a virtual worn 70s era tape recorder. So this one sounds really cool. So yeah. Yeah, the CS-80 is an expensive sense to maintain. It takes hours to heat up. Yes. Yes, the Arturia version. You know, when I had heard that, it didn't really hit the notes for me though. But famously, Hans Zimmer, after he heard the Arturia version, sold his as well. He was just like, "Yeah, it's not worth it." Pretty crazy that you actually had one in your hands, Gato. Really, really gorgeous sort of sound. Textured memories. Background soundscape. Best with single or dual notes. Wow, the sound design on that's crazy. Oh, we really do have a saw in there still. And some noise. What's going on in here? Limiter to pull it all together. Cool. One trick to see what's going on in a patch is actually open up the mod matrix and you can see there's a lot going on in here. That's really cool. Yeah, I think that software and hardware is good, for sure. Oh, pumpkin beer. Thank you so much, Autumn. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot. I got lost in the sound. So tonight, I'm drinking this Left Hand Brewing Pumpkin Spice Latte Nitro. So this will be interesting. How's it going, Dev? Welcome to the stream. So Left Hand, famous for their milk stouts. Pumpkin ale with spices and coffee added. I can't see off the top what the ABV is, but I'm sure it's reasonable. It says, "Hello, gorgeous." So cute. 7% alcohol. So it's as good a time as any to do our review of pumpkin beer. So every night in October or September and October, I am checking out a new pumpkin beer. Looking on the camera, I would say this looks a little more orange in person. Slightly muted here. So anyways, let's give it a shot. Cheers, guys. That sucks. It's not a terrible beer for some people. Oh. It's like lightly spicy. Like it has a chili flavor to it, which is fine in a beer, but not a pumpkin spice latte. It tastes weird. Oh. I'm glad you like it, PC. Yeah, it is really cool. Yeah, it's like weirdly spicy. It's kind of flat and thin tasting too. It's a terrible beer. It's really fucking bad. I'm not into it. Oh, hey Xander, how's it going, buddy? Ah, yeah. F in the chat for the beer. Maybe we'll get better after 12. Maybe. I don't know. So real quick here, let's go ahead and let's have a nice little ranking here of what's going on. All right, so it was pretty bad. We got a list of all my pumpkin beers here that we've tried over the past couple of years. You can see Southern Tier Warlock is my favorite, but it is a bit of a big beer, and it's Imperial Stout. That might not be for everybody. So I'd say Upslope is actually my favorite so far as just like pumpkin beer. If you want a pumpkin beer, Upslope from Colorado, really good. Wow. I actually think it's worse than the Blueprint one we had. We've been really striking out here. Okay. So, left hand, we'll just call it pumpkin spice latte. PSL Nitro. And 0.5 gourds. 0.5 gourds. Wow. Just... Alright, there we go. What a shame. Wow, this beer's terrible. I'm really upset. Someone asked me after the last stream, they were like, why did you keep drinking the beer if it was so bad? And for me, I was like, well, you know, as whatever is a beer. This one's like bad enough, I don't think I'm gonna keep drinking it. Oh, I really don't like it. Autumn. Fuck. It's terrible. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I would try it out on site, but I just don't... I mean, it's not I don't know. I think it's a marketing thing, right? Because you build up expectation off of what's on the can, and I just feel like when you try that, you don't get a sense of, like, this is a pumpkin spice latte. It tastes kind of like a chili beer. It's very weird. I'm very upset. I feel ripped off by that beer. Not by the Vangelis sounds, though. Those are good. But yeah, just really upsetting. All right, so we got a dual layered pad with slow hypnotic movement. Prophet 5 and a Prophet VS. Interesting. So the Prophet VS samples in Omnisphere are something like 18 years old, and they're great. They're definitely worth checking out, and that's like a thing I think people forget about with Omnisphere. Really cool, big, beautiful, delivers in a way that the PSL cannot. It does have like a smoked paprika flavor. There's some hint of pumpkin spice in there, but it's way overwhelmed, and it's not even overwhelmed like by some of the spices you would associate with pumpkin spice. It's definitely a very strange thing. It's very weird. I don't like it. Harp is good. I like harp. Yeah. The mini mappings for Omnisphere. Yeah, so I mean, you can... there's all sorts of cool things. I mean, I think the sonic extensions are incredible, the way those have a custom interface for every single patch with scenes. So each patch is actually like 5 patches. It's pretty crazy. All right, so moving right along. Come to me, Sakuachi. It's a flute emulation. Let's see here. Really good. I can do that. The alpha sequence. Background sequence from alpha. I love how it says aftertouch does nothing, really. All right, so this was the second Blade Runner sound. What I like about this one is that you really do get a lot of control over it. I think that's kind of the critical part of the sound that's missing from a lot of when people emulate it. They program the filter movement mostly with the envelope, but really Vangelis was using his hands to actually trigger that much more. And you can hear that actually, like when you're... I rewatched Blade Runner in preparation for the stream this week, and listening to the soundtrack, you can really hear that on the main titles there. That, on this note here, there's this little... And on those, there's almost no filter. The filter almost doesn't open up at all in the actual soundtrack. I'm used to thinking of it as being like... Whoa, I lost it. But it actually is much more like... If you hear the difference there, I don't know if it's a big thing. So anyways, just an interesting little thing about how well programmed this is. Just really beautiful. Let's see real quick if we go in here. We got a Juno 60 sawtooth and an interesting thing, a little barber pole sequence. Let's hear what that sounds like on its own. I hear almost nothing. I don't think I hear anything. I don't know what's going on there. Interesting. Huh. Wow, you got all of that sound out of just this one oscillator. Just a little bit of detune. Yeah, not a whole lot. Pretty crazy. Ah, the CS-80 bass. Oh, interesting. Look at this waveform. CS-80 cream. If you're not listening with some good speakers, you might miss some of the sweet bass. Woohoo! That's deep. That's a very deep. Oh yeah, you could get it all. That's awesome. Four Noses Pumpkin isn't bad. I haven't tried that beer yet, so we'll have to give it a shot. God, you know what? I got to go back into the pumpkin beer here and actually change this up a little bit. I fucking hate that beer. I actually finished the Shipyard Pumpkin. You know, like I didn't think it was good, but I actually finished it. So I'm bumping it up, and that's getting my all-time lowest score of 0 gourds. I hate that fucking beer so much. Sorry guys, I just gotta be passive aggressive and just put that there. I don't know if anybody even cares about this shit, but to me it matters. Oh my god. It's just a terrible fucking... I don't even want to drink it. I want to go get another beer. This is so dumb. I just don't want to stop playing, you know, stuff. Alright, so flutes. Ooh, this is like a Mellotron flute. Wow. Oh, interesting. It's monophonic. Interesting. Pure aggressive. Yeah. Ugh. Oh my god. Yeah, Shipyard's... I like the Shipyard Pumpkin Ale, but the Pumpkin Seltzer is bullshit. Okay, so we got the Deckard's Blues pad, so that's going to be something like this. Let's see here. We'll get back to that later. Endless. Let's see. Sci-fi hit. I wonder if this is what was from like the intro Blade Runner. That's it. I always like the horn sounds on Blade Runner 2049. So they actually did get a Yamaha CS-80 to do the soundtrack there, which is pretty awesome. Hey, how's it going, Vulture Mom? Seawall was incredible, and that has a lot of CS-80 on it. So what's interesting about the CS-80 as compared to other analog synths from the era, especially the 70s, is it's very bright. You can hear it on the soundtrack, too. It's very cuts through in a way that is different than a lot of these other analog synths. We should do a comparison sometime, but yeah, so that's a very famous sound. Acoustic guitar, Song of the Sea. Ooh. You can hear how there's little different changes in the tone, how sometimes you get a little slide. So if I hit a note like this, you get something, but if I hit it harder, you get these little slides around, you know, that sometimes... Yeah. Xylophone. Oh, this is cool. Mod wheel adds a faint change of timbre. CPU is set to 90%. If it becomes too CPU hungry, you know, you can turn it down. So, xylophone. Really great. That's that sound. That's that sound. Chimes of the Stalactite. Organic background soundscape. Nice little ambiance for maybe an action movie in a jungle. Jupiter to Cosmos, synth lead. Pretty good. Let's see, Rachel's Gust, wind effect. I mean, some of these sound effects are like some of the best I've ever heard for coming from a synthesizer. Let's see what's going on. It really is just using the DSP. It's not a sample. The timpani. that exists. Exploring Jupiter 2. A nice little ARP. Very cool. Want to sleep with Omnisphere now? Yeah, it is really good ambient type stuff. Mostly in the pads, little nice leads, you know, nothing to whatever. Strings from Antarctica Echoes, based off of a Roland VP330. Definitely used one of those. It's probably what he used as the string sound in Blade Runner as well. So good. Are you getting these sounds from other people? So the link to this should be in the description, and it is created by Luftrum, a sound designer who's very famous for making really cool ambient stuff, but this is a tribute pack to Vangelis. And yeah, it's just really cool. Antarctica pad, bandpass pad recreation. Interesting. Mod wheel to induce luminous frequencies. Oh, you left me a beer at. Oh my god, that's so sweet. BRB, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Anna, that is too sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess we're actually going to do, you know, fuck the rest of this beer. Oh god, I can't believe how terrible that was. Alright, so the next beer we're trying out tonight is a 2-for-1. Prairie Artisan Ales. In fact, the last beer I had with my father before he passed away, sadly, was a Prairie Ale. This is Prairie's Pumpkin Pie Treat Sour Ale with pumpkin pie spice blend and toasted marshmallow flavor. So, kind of crazy. Love the can. It's a sour ale, which terrifies me because sour and pumpkin, I don't really know if I think that goes together. But it says it right there on the can, and it's got toasted marshmallow, so like, you know, if it comes across a little little too much, you know, but you know what you're getting into. If the left hand had said like pumpkin spice with like hot chilies or something, I would have been completely different, right? So let's go ahead and try this out. Anna, you're the best. Thank you. That is a lot of head. That's good bartending right there. That is so funny. Oh my god. You picked the wrong one? Oh my god, that's so funny. Yes, that's correct, Ryan. Ooh, it is sour on the nose. I'm terrified. This is going to be an interesting night with the beers. I'm going to let that one settle for a second. Thank you so much, Anna. That was adorable. All right, so we got a falling noise. Basically heard that one before, right? Alpha albedo, simple square wave. Oh, interesting. Oh, I love these. Okay, guys, so I'm going to show you real quick here. We can turn on the arpeggiator. This is what happens if you just turn it on. But we have all of these arpeggiator presets. These are the ones just from the original Omnisphere. But we got all sorts of stuff now. So we could go into... They get complicated. So that, I just wanted to show you, this isn't a demo of Omnisphere, but just how quickly you can start creating really great sounds very, very fast. Without, you know, just with a great starting point like what you get in this library. So, we still got a lot of head on this, so I gotta wait a little bit more. I don't need them, but I want them. Terry, welcome to the stream. I agree. You know, it is true. There is something to be said for Vangelis sounds are not the craziest sounds, right? We've all heard, I mean, it's not, but it's something, there's something about like making a sound that's like perfectly beautiful that I think Luftrum's really nailed. And could anybody come up with the, you know, CS-80 brass sound from Blade Runner? It's probably one of the simplest patches. You could create it on every synthesizer in this room pretty much. But to get it right is actually very difficult. So it's kind of one of those things. It's very simple. It's not a very complicated, you don't need a crazy modulation matrix to make it possible. But to get it just right, I think Luftrum's nailed it, and I think many others have failed. Rhodes voices. Let's see. Interesting note choice there, Alex. Really beautiful. I mean, actually one of the better ones I've ever heard. Agent 00E, welcome to the stream. It is very dreamy. Terrell Lane, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it is. It's great. let's check out what's going on in this. This is definitely one of the better patches I've heard, even from the really great Rhodes patches. So we've got this interesting organic Rhodes body denoise. I saw this earlier. And a triangle from the Prophet Rev 2. Interesting. In the effects section, we've got a chorus echo and almost nothing else, just the reverb. And again, the effects racks are available in the download as well. So let's turn the triangle off real quick. You can turn layers on and off just by pressing these blue buttons up here. So this is the organic Rhodes body denoise. If I hit this plus sign here, we actually can get some information about it. And it says, one of our crazy ideas was to attempt creating a multi-sampled Rhodes electric piano sound that has the acoustic resonance and warmth of a grand piano. The way we did this was to take the Rhodes and play it through the grand piano, amplifying the Rhodes into the soundboard of the piano and then holding the piano sustain down for each note. We also close mic the internal Rhodes tines as well as the body mics for capturing all sorts of internal mechanical noise. This was created by none other than Eric Persing of Roland fame and the creator of Omnisphere, and Diego Stocco, who makes these incredible custom instruments. You've heard them in Hans Zimmer's score for Sherlock Holmes. He used a lot of Diego's stuff. So this is the Rhodes through the piano. Just so cool. I'm going to turn that off and turn on just the triangle so you can hear what's going on there. Really pure sort of sound, and then together we get something, you know, more like... Very reactive. Okay, the beer has finally calmed down. It's a nice pale blonde color, a little bit of sediment in there. Definitely a little sour. Definitely a lot of sour. Oh, God damn it. Sometimes you just don't win. Oh. Xena would love this beer. It is very sour. Okay. So. So, bias out of the way. I don't love dry sours. There's something about having a little bit of sweetness in a sour that helps it not just destroy your mouth. Better notes of pumpkin spice in here, not spicy. I just don't know. I mean, sour ale's just a tough sell for pumpkin pie. Like, pumpkin pie shouldn't taste sour. That means it was left out overnight. Oh man. Yeah. All right, let's see. Buy more packs, not more plugins. Yeah, and an Omnisphere is a great example. I've probably said this before, but I've got a lot of synths in this room. And Omnisphere is more powerful than all of them together. I mean, it really is crazy. Yeah, our man's suffering tonight. Yeah, it's just not great. Ugh. Just thinking about getting the Native Instruments Complete 14. Do you think I should, as I am new? Is the Collector's the $1,000 plus version? We'll look it up real quick for you. I can answer questions like this on the fly. It just came out, right? I saw a podcast from Sonic State about it. Complete 14 Collector's Edition. Holy shit. It's $1,800? It's $1,800. Well, Gato, you work for Native Instruments. So, what do you think? Do you think it's worth $1,800? Let's put you on the spot. In public. Yeah. Agent 00E, that's awesome that you've had it since day one. I would say that, of course, I have gear acquisition syndrome very bad. You can see I've got 20 vintage synths in this room. But I really still feel like Omnisphere is so good. It is! Gato, you're saying that it's worth $1,800 bucks. I mean, that's quite a statement. Get Analog Lab from Arturia. You'll get and for specifically, Dev said as he is new. So for a beginner, should a beginner go out and spend $1,800 on the collector's edition? I don't want to speak for you, Gato. I use Omnisphere more than Native Instruments Complete. Yeah. No. Yeah, I agree with that, Gato. My thing would be, usually Complete has like a $500 version. Yeah. Now it's $600. So Complete 14 standard, $600. And I did a review on this channel talking about the software options. And the thing is, I love Omnisphere. I will be the person to sell Omnisphere till the cows come home. Some people call me hypocritical. They say it's too expensive for beginners. But to me, I'd rather someone spend $500 once and then be good to go. You don't need any of the rest of the hardware in this room. Like, Omnisphere will really cover all the ground. The only deal I've ever thought is better than Omnisphere potentially is the Native Instruments Complete. And the reason would be that although no one synth from that pack to me does what Omnisphere does, I will say that it comes with like a lot of stuff like drums and all sorts of other things that you could use. Whereas Omnisphere, you're still kind of stuck in synthesis. And even within there are samples. You've heard orchestral stuff, but it's not quite as much as like using all of the crazy contact libraries that you could have. So that would be my opinion there. Analog Lab is a good one for sure. If you have an iPad, you can get some wonderful synths and music apps for cheap. Yeah, Korg's gadgets are really cool. 2,300 Canadian. Yeah, I just can't imagine spending that much in the anyways, if you look on this channel, I have a video called Best Synth to Buy Right Now. It's mostly for hardware synths, but I do cover software. In my opinion, it depends on what kind of music you're making. So, for instance, if you were making any sort of EDM, I would actually recommend Serum, even though I don't use it, because it's like $200 and you can rent to own it through Splice. Controversy aside, if you think that's a good idea or not. UHE Diva is a good one. I don't know how much that is off the top of my head, PC. How much is that? Something like Camel Audio's Alchemy would be a phenomenal startup synth. Yes, I agree, Jackie. We're both big fans of Camel Audio's Alchemy. That is now standard in Logic, though, which is why I don't use it. You have to be using Logic to use it. So if you're using Logic, then there's that. But, yes. I want to do a video at some point explaining how simple Omnisphere is. I got into a fight on YouTube the other day about it. Someone was saying that Omnisphere is just not simple. But the truth is, real quick here, if I just initialize this patch real quick. So we just have a sawtooth. I can do everything from this main page right here. So we've got a sawtooth. Let's pick a classic waveform. We've got all of these really cool waveforms, but since they go off the page, but I'm going to pick the JX3P, which I have sitting over there behind me. And, or in this case, why don't we go to square and see if we've got a JX3P square. Yeah. And let's get some pulse width modulation. So what that is changing the width of the square wave. So I can just right click that, modulate with LFO. And immediately start getting PWM with the wave from there. If I want to add a filter to it. And I want to change that, make it more of a brassy type thing. Add some release to the amp and the filter. Oh, sorry, that was the filter there. All right, so that sounds pretty good, but I want more than that. So I'm going to go into Harmonia here, and all I'm going to do is have the same oscillator that I had before. I'm just going to detune it slightly. Not -1, it's just 0. So again. Anyways, my point is, Omnisphere is actually very simple to use for a beginner. You don't have to go, like, you did all of that very quickly. It is not beyond a beginner. If you guys have been watching these videos, you followed everything I did very quickly. And, you know, so for that, from that point of view, I think it's worth checking out. Anyways, let's go back to where we were. We're somewhere around, we're going down here. Let's see. Dream piano in open place. All right, so this is where we're at. And let's see what else we got out here. Oh, we got a lot in the comments I've been missing. Oh my God. This one. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is out of control. Out of control. Holy shit. That is insane. Insane. That's gotta be the craziest patch I think I've heard in a long time. It's like a whole fucking soundtrack with sound effects at the beach. It's like, oh my God, it's like taking, you know, the child that died and wrapped up and sending him out to sea. It's fucking crazy. That is the craziest sound I have ever heard. That is one of my favorite. It's just like, you can't help but smile hearing that one. Oh my God. Let's see. I've missed a lot of chat. Vanguard was my first big girl synth. Yes, love Vanguard. What else is going on? Yeah, I'm divorcing Nico to marry it. It really is. The one thing I could say about it is, like, for me, you definitely need like that the beach sound is great, but I could use it turned down a little bit. So luckily it's the first layer, so we just turn that down a bit. So I'm gonna I'll turn it off real quick and just see, you know, what it. I could just spend the rest of the stream playing that sound. It's literally the greatest sound of all time. That is insane. That is fucking insane. Oh my god, okay. There's no way this will be as good, but I'm excited. High-pass pad. I'm a huge fan of high-pass pads. It's something that's easier to do in the digital domain. You can see how blue the room is. Kind of got some D50 vibes. Still really evocative and beautiful. I mean, this is 39 bucks. This is the best 39 bucks I've ever spent. Of course, you have to have Omnisphere to make it happen. Man, I'm upset about this beer selection. This has been rough. La Petite Key de la Mer. Fragile synth key emulation. Ooh. What's going on in here? I was thinking it has that sine sound of the CS-80. So what's interesting about the CS-80 as compared to other synthesizers, the only analog synth from the era that I can think of where the sine wave is actually post-filter. So no matter what you do with the sound that's being fed through the filter, the sine wave actually comes after that, but before the amplifier. Which is pretty cool. And a little bell. Abrams key. Let's check this out. Freely inspired. Oh, it's almost the same type of thing. Very similar. These patches are just random. I'm going through them randomly, so yeah. Does the room respond to the music? Yes, it does. Yes. The pitch is a little bit of a rain. Try this. So you can see right now that because it's all high end, the room is very blue. If I play a low song, a low note, it should turn orangish. Let me go lower. Very red down there. Kind of cool little thing. Arp of coral. I like the stereo stuff going on. Cool. Sunlit brass. Oh, this kind of reminds me of the brass patch from the SCU-80. Just with a shitload of reverb. A lot of proverb here. Transcend to Nemo, which was the name of his studio. Let's see. This is that sound. Yes, very Beverly Hills Cops. That's hilarious. Together. Kind of a similar thing, vibrato. You also can hear how much of an important part the Lexicon 224 played in the sound of Vangelis is very much about the reverb. Here's the blues pad again. Hymn strings. I think we played this one earlier, didn't we? Signs of life. Should be some CS-80 sign. Shrill. Cool. Just been so many. Oh, is he inspired by the song, or I'm sorry, the track? Him too. Move on. Elsewhere. You can hear how well this stuff responds to, especially pentatonic scales. Really cool. This is created by Luftrum, who is a sound designer and is made for Omnisphere 2, but it's not officially made by Spectrasonics. I'd also like to say that I was very impressed by how easy it was to install. You just hit Utility, which is just off screen here, and hit, what is it? It's somewhere right around here. Install.omnisphere, and it was that simple. Just click on the file and then everything worked. It was really great. Black Rain vibes. Twilight Rind. More wind. Lagoon pad. Little D50. I bet you there's a D50 in there. D50 bells. Oh, that's so awesome, Terry. I'm glad you ended up buying it. Get that D50 sound. For those of you guys who don't know, the D50 is right over my shoulder. I was pointing at it. It's this one over here. Ah, it's right behind Omnisphere. Oh, that's not a chord. Right over there. Ah, come on, camera, pan back. That's the Roland D50 behind me. Right there. And that was made in large part by Eric Persing, who then went on to create and found Spectrasonics. So there's a lot of D50 vibe, mojo, one could say, in Omnisphere. All right, going all the way to the top. Oh, we got a different kind of randomization, so we might run over a few things. Space Horizon. Oh. I think we've actually found the first patch that I genuinely don't see myself ever using. It's not bad, I mean, it's fine, but this is kind of like why I don't buy patch banks so that often. This is when I hear this, so there's definitely a D50 type thing going on. I guess it's the Tibetan bowl. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, that's giving you those like really high tines. Wow, that's really crazy. A dual high-pass filter being used on that. We've got a JP8000, which is right there. That's where that's the money shot. I don't know if it's the LFOs being applied to the cutoff filter there. And then over here, we got the satellite organ. I don't know about this. This is giving us our interesting texture. Guess this is from more of like the circuit bent type stuff. Lena Chad, 79. How's it going? Almost Jupiter-ish, for sure. It's got the JP in there, so, you know, that's worth something. All right, exploring Jupiter. Speaking of Jupiter, let's go ahead and check this out. Oh, this does have like a Jupiter sound. I don't think I've actually seen Black Rain, but if Pinto loves it and you're into it too, Agent 00E, I gotta check it out. Oh, have a great night, Autumn. Love you very much. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next week for the 100th episode of SCUM Night. That's correct. 100 episodes that we've done. Really excited too, because we're going to be messing around with this baby, the Fender Chroma Polaris. It's in the shadows tonight, but next week it won't be. Yeah, it's going to be really great. Keys of Coral. Great, but kind of more of the same sort of signy E-piano type thing. Let's check Epiphany. Airy pad. Love a good airy pad. Really cool. Neat. Let's try the breathy resonance. Not too much of a change with the mod wheel, unfortunately. Oh, you had it and you fried. That's terrible. Ugh. Don't say that. It's terrifying me. I don't know if I should rate this beer. This beer, unlike the Left Hand, says right on the front it's a sour ale. Do I like this beer? No, I don't. Do I want to finish it? No, not really. They're both not good. For me anyways, it's not to my taste, but do I think it's a bad sour beer? No. I like I said, I think Xena would like this. Just weird. Kind of like chai tea that's gone sour. Not my thing. Voice pad. Sounds really great. I love how much of these... So this is from a Moog Little Fatty sawtooth sound. It's really cool how Luftrum used all of these different synthesizer, sounds. To give you an idea here, let's see if I can just get this real quick just by itself. If I change the sawtooth sound to the JX3P, doesn't sound all that different. To say, let's go away from Roland to a generated saw. Sounds about the same, right? The D50 saw, so a digital saw now. This is a good example right here of why I say that, analog and digital doesn't matter as much, because, there's the circuit mono station, which I know Gatto's a fan of. By the time you actually process everything, the sawtooth sound doesn't matter all that much. ARP Odyssey, which I had in the studio for one day. I mean, it all sounds the same, right? It's not that different. And then, in fact, as we play the patch here, and if I play this with the ARP Odyssey, that's the ARP Odyssey saw. And now we're back to the original saw. Not so different. Yeah, Fender bought Presonus. Interesting. That will be an interesting thing to see what happens there. Yeah, so I bought an ARP Odyssey off of a guy, and he was really cool, and but it was just not good to go, and he was nice enough to take it back. So Greg Lazar, wherever you are out there, I appreciate you being a good man. Good on you, sir. Appreciate that very much. Little fatty, tiny mouth. How to learn sound design and then create their own patches is the magic of it all. Yes. Remembering Jupiter. I love these, these patches. The PWM. Now, I'd like to point out, too, this is using a CS PWM, but what that is it's not a sample. Technically, it's a wavetable. And so you have all of the synthesis there for you. Really good. Rising noise. Yes, I agree, Agent 000E. I think that, there's something to be said for analog filters. I just don't think companies get the sound of analog filters that great. Software companies, that is. But in principle, it should all be the same. And I think nowadays the software is better than ever. I think a lot of it comes from the prejudice of the 80s and 90s, because back then virtual analog really didn't sound as good, right? It just was the case that the virtual analog stuff wasn't up to par, MIDI was steppy, stuff like that. But nowadays, they've just come so far with it that it's hard to make a claim that virtual analog just isn't what you want it to be. So it's a thing. I don't know. That's my opinion, though. Flute, 1979. Yeah, this is pretty good. The Elsewhere ARP. Love. Traditional China. Worried about this. What's the description of this? Eru-ish hybrid instrument. I actually kind of love it. Actually pretty good. I could do that. Very FM. I agree. Could have some... Looks like it's using the wave shaper to sort of lend that tone. So if I turn that off real quick. Yeah. Kind of... But... Yeah, the wave shaping really makes the difference there on that sound. Garbage triangle. Interesting. All right. In the passing... Ooh... Hey, Satsu! How are you doing, Satsujin? It did sound better. Things are good. Can't win with the beer tonight. Yes, so all of these patches actually have headroom built in. Some people complain about that with Omnisphere. They're not like ripping your head off. CS-80 strings, this is a really good patch. I opened this one up earlier, just when I was testing out to make sure everything worked. Really convincing.
That is one seriously perverted bitch.
Scum always raises. Thank you very much for your $6.66 donation. I appreciate that very much. Whoever you are out there, thank you for being awesome. What's new? All right, so we've covered a lot of these. Let's see here. I think we've gotten most of these. Here we go. This is an important one. The Blade Runner Blues sound. And in fact, this is what sold me on buying the library. So I have a second layer here set up with the Blade Runner Blues patch pad sound. And so I'm going to play that. Hopefully I'm going to play that. There we go. What's interesting here too is that as you hold the aftertouch, it actually kills the note. So if I press the note and then press it down further, you'll hear it kills it off. So really interesting way to Jerry, thank you for subscribing to the channel.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that pretty much sums up what's so great about this library and why it's so good. What was so incredible about it. You can see here it's just one layer of a sawtooth from the CS-80. A little bit of detune, but nailing the feel of that. And you can see that resonance is modulated here. If we go in here, we can see that resonance is controlled with aftertouch, actually. LFO1 pitch fine. Aftertouch the amplitude. The wheels got the depth for the vibrato. You could just play that sound all day long, couldn't you? Oh my god. Yeah, the Blade Runner blues sound is just perfect. It's a very hard patch to emulate, actually. And it's... You know, Vangelis used a lot of the presets on the CS-80 to get the sounds that he used on Blade Runner. But that patch was a custom patch that he created, and it's just one of the most iconic synth sounds of all time. And in the past, I'd seen emulating it using two square waves with varying pulse widths. But this one uses a sawtooth, and it sounds, I think, the most authentic. So it's really just like what's going on with the filter. If we look in here real quick, he's using a UVI filter, which I think there's a description of on the website or whatever. Oh, we actually have two filters. A high pass, which is interesting, and a low pass, which would be the architecture of the CS-80, right? Because it did have a high pass and a low pass. Anyways, it's just really crazy how he was able to get that sound so doggone spot on. Yes, Rutger Hauer made that movie Aquatic, for sure. We just watched it this week, and it's so good. Rutger just nails it. Yeah. I don't know. I think this is a really great library for anybody who loves that Blade Runner sound and that sort of Vangelis. He really did just have a certain way of making synthesizers beautiful. You know, sometimes when I'm messing with these vintage synths and we start and it's just like I've heard so many sawtooths and so many square waves and they're all kind of like brittle, you know? And it's like, it's amazing how it can go from being you know, sort of like a harsh Game Boy-like sound that's not very beautiful. You know, when you hear these sounds and Vangelis' music in general, it just fills you with a sense of beauty. That, you know, it's like this analog circuitry singing, and it's just incredible. So, anyways, guys. Oh, before we go, I should just prep you guys a little bit. So that was all digital. Let's check out just a little bit, little taste, little preview for next week. This is the Chroma Polaris here real quick. Let's see. Yo. 1984, you could get that sound. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, I cannot wait. That was just like, that's just how that thing sounds. It's insane. And that's the beauty of an analog filter right there. And a great one at that. Oh my god. Prince used a Polaris? I didn't know that if he did. Calm down, Van Halen. Oh my god. I'm so happy you got it, Agent 00E. I really think it's worth it. 39 bucks, fucking can't go wrong with that. Yeah. Is it next week yet? Yeah. Really, really cool. So anyways, guys, thank you so much. I'm Vulture Culture. It's been another wonderful week talking synths with you guys. We do this every Wednesday at 9. Please be fucking great between now and the next time I see you, which will be Wednesday next week, okay? SQ80 versus SQ80V video coming out on Friday. Go ahead and figure that out. Get that video done. I want to hear all y'all's guesses. See if you guys can tell the difference between the analog hardware and the digital recreation from Arturia. Really cool. And yeah, can't wait to see you guys for the 100th SCUM Night episode next week. So you guys all have a wonderful one. Thank you.